Hi everyone, happy Friday. Here's some of what's heading your way tonight. Your news at 9.
The state of Missouri entered its final phase of COVID-19 vaccine eligibility. And Joplin's Freeman Hospital commemorated the occasion by getting around 600 4-staters vaccinated. Details are coming up.
A hiccup in the country's vaccination program as one pharmaceutical company hits a roadblock. I'm Jonathan Seri in Atlanta. I'll have details coming up.
Also going to hear how proceeds from a special brew in Pittsburgh is helping veterans. Doug Heddy's weather tonight. Jacob Leonard has sports. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 410.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Obby. Severe storms, strong storms for many of us tonight. Meteorologist Doug Heddy joining us now.
Yeah, we've had showers, thunderstorms throughout the late afternoon into the evening hours and still ongoing for us now. Most of us are just seeing strong storms as the atmosphere is a little bit more stable, especially once you get north of Interstate 44. But a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, heavy amounts of rain. But we still have a severe threat in our southern counties. I think most of us are just strong storms. So you can see here's Pittsburgh through Joplin, Carthage, Neosho over toward Miami. And these are strong storms, heavy amounts of rain. Now, as you track a little bit farther toward the south, so here's Neosho, then we get into McDonald County and back through northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Those are going to be the regions that have a little better shot to get some low-grade severe storms. Now, I think if we had any, the main threat here is gusty winds and large hail, but some of these guys could be pretty potent, especially in our southern counties. Here's 10 p.m., so in about an hour, this line's pushing through. Most of this is gone by 11 or midnight, and then we will start to dry out just a little bit, but we are also going to start to cool down a bit as well. So Jordan, of course, we're going to be discussing all this all coming up here in just a little bit.
All right, Doug, thanks so much. Show Me State passed another milestone as state health officials work to get Missourians vaccinated against the coronavirus. As of today, all Missourians ages 16 and older are eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine. KOAM's Mike Mahoney checked out how Joplin's Freeman Hospital marked the occasion.
Joplin's Freeman Hospital vaccinated around 600 4-staters Friday as the state of Missouri enters its final phase of its vaccine distribution plan. Folks who stopped by got their shots for a variety of reasons.
Eventually I would like to take my family on a vacation after this year of quarantining, right? So any opportunity to put myself in that position is one that I'm going to take.
I had COVID and it was pretty bad and I don't want to get it again.
Vaccine recipient Rhonda Shaw also says she's getting vaccinated because she doesn't want her loved ones to go through what she went through.
I had it bad enough that I couldn't breathe, I had no energy. My husband had to give me a shower and wash my hair.
Missouri entering its final vaccination phase means all state residents ages 16 and up can now get registered for a COVID-19 vaccine. Freeman's chief clinical officer says there's no cost for the shots and has some advice for anybody who still hasn't made up their mind about coronavirus vaccination.
I would like to encourage anybody out there who's on the fence about getting the vaccine. If they want information, reach out to a healthcare professional. We're always here if they've got questions. And I would encourage everyone to get the shot.
In Joplin, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
Freeman doesn't have another large-scale vaccination clinic planned as of now, but encourages people to keep registering for those shots on their website and to pay attention to their Facebook page. Federal health officials are concerned about a possible fourth surge as the prevalence of coronavirus variants continues to rise. In the meantime, states will begin to see a large drop in Johnson & Johnson vaccine deliveries next week. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Seri has more from New York.
The U.S. vaccine distribution program has hit a snag. Next week's delivery of the Johnson & Johnson coronavirus vaccine is expected to fall by more than 85%. This comes after the company had to discard 15 million doses last month after a contamination at a Baltimore plant. And over the past several days, mass vaccination sites in North Carolina and Colorado temporarily shut down after multiple patients suffered immediate symptoms after receiving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Symptoms ranging from dizziness to nausea.
We have no reason to believe there's anything wrong with the vaccine itself.
The vaccination distribution setback comes as federal health officials warn of a possible fourth surge of the virus, a more contagious and potentially more deadly variant first identified in Britain is now the dominant strain in the U.S. In Michigan, new cases and hospitalizations have more than doubled in the last 2 weeks. The surge becoming the largest in the country. Several other states in the Midwest have also reported a significant increase in new cases and hospitalizations.
We've sacrificed so much. This has changed every aspect of our lives for over a year. We can't let up now, not when we're so close.
Despite the recent rise in new cases in some parts of the country, the director of the CDC says all schools should be back to in-person learning come September. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
Authorities in Crawford County, Kansas still have not released the cause of death of a woman whose body was found in a burning house last Sunday. The sheriff's office did officially release the woman's identity. 39-year-old Sarah Etzold of Mulberry. Sunday fire was located at a house at South 250th Street, south of Mulberry. Authorities say an autopsy of Etzold's body is still pending and the investigation is ongoing. Drop the Ace Brewing Company in Pittsburgh is supporting nonprofits through a unique way of their own. The microbrewer brewed 2 community tanks. Proceeds from beer from one of those tanks went to Big Brothers Big Sisters. And that right there, the second community tank was brewed by Vet Links. It's an organization bridging the mental health care gap for veterans.
Appreciative of this community, and we're very honored to have received it, but it's our duty to make sure it goes in the right hands.
Close to $4,000 was donated to Vet Links from the community tank. Awesome job. More volunteers lended several helping hands at Joplin's Ronald McDonald House. Workers from the Green Thumb team rolled up their sleeves, planted trees, cleaned up landscape, did some other building maintenance jobs.
Yeah, Burns McDonald has always put in the forefront in all of our employee owners, anybody that works as a contract worker for us, is that it's important to give back to the community.
Ronald McDonald House workers say volunteers help maintain a safe and secure place for families staying there. Today, President Biden signing a new commission to review the nation's highest court. Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson has more on what the review will include and why some Republicans are opposed.
Over the next 180 days, a newly formed bipartisan commission will study possible reforms to the U.S. Supreme Court. The White House says it's part of the administration's commitment to closely study measures to improve the federal judiciary.
They will also be looking at the court's role in the constitutional system, the length of service and turnover of justices on the court, the membership and size of the court, and the court's case selection rules and practices.
But conservatives say it's a ploy by liberals to pack the court.
This is really yielding again to the most extreme voices on the left. These are professors that never objected to the makeup of the court when it was controlled with a liberal majority. But once that tipped, suddenly this became an urgent matter to redesign the court.
Biden campaigned on the idea of reform after President Trump appointed a third Supreme Court justice, fast-tracking Amy Coney Barrett's confirmation just days before the 2020 election. Biden argued the court system was getting out of whack in this interview with 60 Minutes.
Presidents come and go. Supreme Court justices stay for generations.
This week, Justice Stephen Breyer warned against changes, saying, quote, structural alteration motivated by the perception of political influence can only feed that perception, further eroding that trust. As part of their review, the 36-person commission is expected to hold public meetings and gather feedback and ideas. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes its time now to honor one of our 4-state heroes. Warren Ailes served in the U.S. Army from 1951 to 53. Native of Pineville, Missouri, Ailes was stationed in South Korea. We are proud to thank and salute, of course, Corporal Warren Ailes, tonight's 4-state hero. Doug Heddy's up next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, Carthage and Carl Junction squaring off in the Bill O'Dell Tournament Championship. Gonna have highlights from a wild finish in sports.
Well, we've had the showers, we've had the thunderstorms throughout the afternoon into the evening hours now. It was actually a pretty good day prior to the storms. We were well into the 70s, had sunshine, it wasn't too windy. And then, of course, the clouds moved in, and then we got the showers and thunderstorms. Still, in our southern counties, we have the threat for a little bit of severe weather. You can see severe thunderstorm watch, northeastern Oklahoma. also northwestern parts of Arkansas. I really think most of us, though, we just are getting good old showers and thunderstorms, which are working through. And you can see these over the past several hours. So right along the I-49 corridor and all the way back through northeastern parts of Oklahoma, which continue to push off toward the east very slowly through the region. Then also on the backside, you can see a band of some showers and thunderstorms. That's actually with the main cold front. So we're still going to get some thunderstorms over the next several hours. But overall, I think our severe threat is fairly low, unless if you live in our far southern counties. Let's go ahead and zoom in. So we're going to go to the metro from Pittsburgh, Joplin, Carthage, Neosho, and then stretching back toward Miami. Good showers and thunderstorms, a lot of lightning bolts. So these guys are still packing a pretty good punch. And then if we work a little bit farther south, so once you get into Newton County, McDonald County, you can see a little bit more orange and a little bit more red, so even heavier rains. But again, nothing too strong, not severe. This band's going to continue to work through, but I'm not expecting much in the way of severe weather. I really think most of the severe weather tonight will stay just to our south. So northwestern Arkansas, really Fayetteville toward Fort Smith. Those are going to be the areas that had the best chance to get some severe weather as we continue through the overnight hours. This is all going to push out pretty quickly. Let's move down the road. So here in about an hour, heaviest rain is all going to be on the Missouri and the Arkansas side. We're still going to have some showers back across Kansas and then Oklahoma. Let's go to about 11 o'clock. Now most of the rain exiting the metro, and then it's pretty much gone by about midnight. But then we get on the back side of the system, and we still get a few thunder showers that try to pop up. So here's 4 a.m. We can go into the morning hours, a lot of clouds, still some light showers, all the way to the noon hour. Tomorrow's not going to be the best of days, but it will get better by the time we head into Sunday. All right, looking outside, nice shot, indigo sky, casino and resort, of course, indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. So this whole storm system, look at the little twist right out across southeastern parts of Nebraska. So this is rotating through, and it's going to take another 12 hours or so before this system gets out of here. But if you look just to our west, nice little ridge of high pressure, that rolls in for Sunday and Monday, giving us pretty good weather. All right, let's go into tomorrow afternoon. See the rain through the morning hours. By afternoon, a little bit of sunshine late in the day. Most of the day, just cloudy skies. A little bit of sun. It's going to be cooler. High temp of only 60. But it does get better. Look at the clouds. They clear out tomorrow night. Let's go into Sunday morning. Here's 6 a.m., pretty much clear skies. Kind of cool. But look at the afternoon. Sunny skies. We pop all the way up into the 70s for highs. So Sunday is going to be very similar to what we had today before the storms moved in. Showers, thunderstorms, again, severe threat, rapidly dropping, heavy amounts of rain. 60 tomorrow, 74 on Sunday, and then turning cooler again, a high of only 57 on Monday. In fact, most of next week is kind of chilly. So it's kind of the last early spring gasp before we start warming up.
Had some good pops here at the station earlier tonight.
Yeah, the tower's been hit a few times.
Yeah, AKA the lightning rod, right? All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks so much, Doug. Coming up, jurors hearing more about George Floyd's cause of death.
More medical experts take the stand as we reach what should be the midway point in the Derek Chauvin murder trial. I'm Mike Tobin in Minneapolis. Details coming up.
Witness testimony continued today in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. Jurors heard from two doctors who discussed George Floyd's cause of death. Fox News senior correspondent Mike Tobin has more.
George Floyd's autopsy is the focus as the second week of testimony wraps up. Prosecutors continue to call more medical experts to the stand. Jurors listened to testimony from Dr. Andrew Baker, the Hennepin County medical examiner, who conducted Floyd's autopsy.
Mr. Floyd's use of fentanyl did not cause the subdual or neck restraint. His heart disease did not cause the subdual or the neck restraint.
Earlier, the state called on a forensic pathologist who agreed with Dr. Baker's determination of Floyd's cause of death.
This is a death where both the heart and lungs stopped working. And the point is that it's due to law enforcement subdual, restraint, and compression.
Dr. Lindsay Thomas testified that Floyd died from a lack of oxygen from being held down by officers. She also addressed the defense's theory that Floyd died from a drug overdose or other underlying health issues.
There's no evidence to suggest he would have died that night, except for the interactions with law enforcement.
Under cross-examination, Dr. Thomas agreed with the defense that Floyd's heart was slightly enlarged and one of his arteries had a 90% blockage, that prompting a hypothetical question from attorney Eric Nelson.
Let's assume you found Mr. Floyd dead in his residence. No police involvement, no drugs, right? The only thing you found would be these facts about his heart. What would you conclude to be the cause of death?
In that very narrow set of circumstances, I would probably conclude that the cause of death was his heart disease.
Jurors return to court Monday for a third week of testimony. In Minneapolis, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
Just ahead, Queen Elizabeth in mourning.
A fixture in British life has died. I'm Greg Palcott in London with more on the life and the death of Prince Philip. Coming up.
Prince Philip, husband to Queen Elizabeth, has died. The Duke of Edinburgh has spent 65 years supporting the Queen, retiring from his public role back in 2017. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Palcott has more now from London.
We remember the Duke, above all, for his steadfast support for Her Majesty the Queen.
Prince Philip died peacefully Friday morning, the royal family confirming the news in a statement and placing the Union Jack high above Buckingham Palace at half-staff. Philip had been staying at Windsor Castle with Queen Elizabeth during England's coronavirus lockdown, and that's where his body will lie at rest, where his funeral is expected to be held. Philip had several health issues in recent years. In March, he underwent a procedure for a pre-existing heart condition. Prince Philip was married to Queen Elizabeth for more than 70 years. She often referred to him as her rock. Together, they had 4 children, including the heir to the throne, Prince Charles. Tributes to Philip poured in from around the globe. President Biden releasing a statement saying, quote, "Jill and I are keeping the Queen and Prince Philip's children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren in our hearts during this time." Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau praised Prince Philip for his charity work and as a man of service.
Prince Philip will be remembered as a champion for young people, a decorated naval officer, a dedicated philanthropist, and a constant in the life of Queen Elizabeth II.
He helped to steer the royal family and the monarchy so that it remains an institution indisputably vital to the balance and happiness of our national life.
Prince Philip's life ends just 2 months shy of his 100th birthday. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Just ahead, a science experiment, a successful science experiment that could one day mean huge things for human paralysis. Monkey with superpowers? Entrepreneur Elon Musk's neuroscience startup Neuralink releasing video of showing a monkey using a brain-computer interface implanted in its brain to play video games. The video shows the monkey named Pager using a joystick to follow a cursor on a screen. Neuralink has recorded more than 2,000 electrodes implanted in regions of the monkey's motor cortex that works with hand and arm movements. Pager also playing the game Mind Pong by controlling his paddles simply by thinking about moving his hand up and down. Just thinking about it. I don't know about you. The story itself, just looking at this video, I mean, yeah, it's cool, but it's also kind of freaky, you know? You know what I mean? But then when you think about the broader possibilities here, again, human paralysis, you never know, right? 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming away. Going to check out a fun tradition happening again, Food Truck Friday. Plus, yes, the Wienermobile, along with Cold Cuts Chloe and Barbecue, making a stop in Joplin today. Today, Visit Carthage hosted its first Food Truck Friday event of the season. Due to the pandemic over the past year, many events that food truck vendors rely on were canceled. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with local food truck owners to see how they feel to be back in business.
Food trucks are among the many businesses hit hard by the pandemic. Most food trucks rely on events for business, but with the pandemic, these events were canceled, and unfortunately, many businesses did not survive.
And some people didn't make it, and so we're sad by that some of them couldn't carry on. Some of the businesses that you're going, well, have you heard from that person or whoever, and you didn't, and that's because the pandemic did worse for them.
But today's Food Truck Friday event in Carthage offered some new hope. Abby Bishop from Visit Carthage says this event, which didn't get to happen much last year, can hopefully let these businesses gain the exposure and customers they once had.
We didn't get to have very many last year, so they get to come back this year and use our event for their business. And also just, getting them exposure and getting people to see their business and follow them on social media so they know where they are on other days too.
To get the word out about Food Truck Friday, Visit Carthage enlisted the help of local businesses with followings of their own. Jason Bono brought his monster truck to Central Park in an effort to attract more people.
A lot of food trucks, they don't have a specific home every day, so they rely on events and things like this to bring people out together, and it was pretty difficult on them last year, and we're just hoping to help out.
Neil Gomes' restaurant was closed for a bit due to COVID-19, but because they had a food truck, he was able to keep London Calling in business.
And the food truck was really kept us in the game through the pandemic, so I was really lucky.
They were able to get their business by driving through local neighborhoods, but now that Food Truck Fridays is back, they're able to reach an even bigger audience. In Carthage, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Food Truck Friday in Carthage will run until October this year and happens the second Friday of every month. It was also Food Truck Friday over at the Joplin High School. Students were able to order from a variety of trucks with some good grub, all in the name of fundraising. The event was hosted as a way for seniors to raise money for the graduation and class events after they get their diploma.
Project graduation for historically in Joplin has been the night of graduation. A group of parents will typically get together and they do fundraising all year. And it's planned for a night where the kids, after they graduate, they come and do a lock-in kind of a situation. They have all kinds of games and food and different things going on for the seniors.
Some of the vendors there included Blondie's Woodfire Pizza, Clark's Cuisine, and Kona Ice. Hot dog, we got one more food story for you. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile popped by Joplin. The drivers of the 27-foot-long hot dog on wheels, Cold Cuts Chloe and Barb BQ, hung out around Cunningham Park for a few hours today. They met with people at the park, told stories about their travels, and I'm sure pretty interesting stories too. Of course, handed out those classic Oscar Mayer's Wiener whistles.
When we drive on the hot dog highways, people are constantly honking and waving and making our day as much as we make yours. So really, it's just the vehicle that makes people happy.
Because I was really excited. I seen pictures posted online, but that was just not the excitement. I wanted to see it in person for myself.
Just in case if you're wondering, the first person who was interviewed there, Barb does have a real last name. I thought that was interesting though. The Wienermobile will be at Roller City Skates tomorrow from 1 to 5 p.m. and at Ewart Park on Sunday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Work officially began today for a new athletic complex in Seneca, Missouri. The Seneca School District hosted a groundbreaking ceremony. Officials say it's going to be a safe place for the kiddos to play without worrying about the elements.
Sure, so really our community as a whole will be able to benefit from this athletic complex. More directly, it'll be our students here in Seneca. They'll have a place to practice and a place to play where they don't have to worry about flooding or any of those issues.
The new complex will be paid for with a no tax increase bond. Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce Foundation celebrated the opening of 2 new co-working spaces. The spaces are located in the Joseph Newman Innovation Center. They're going to be for entrepreneurs and remote workers to have a dedicated workspace. People can reserve a dedicated desk, a hot desk, 24/7 day pass, or a business pass.
From yesteryear in the Joe Newman Innovation Center, as well as grants that we have available, we can channel that into this avenue and cover those costs as a way to reinvest in our community to help small businesses and startups get up and running.
Joseph Newman Innovation Center is located at 407 South Pennsylvania Avenue in Joplin. AT&T presented a $5,000 check to the Bill and Virginia Leffen Center for Autism in Joplin today. The center, as many people know about, helps youth with autism develop skills to learn in mainstream classrooms, also build independent futures.
Families who need assistance with scholarships and with other medical needs for their children living on the spectrum. So it means a great deal to us, and particularly since this is a gift that they have done many times in the past few years.
AT&T is a sponsor of this year's Freeman 5K and 14th annual Walk for Autism Awareness. It's being held on April 24th. A bit later, more determination to overcome addictions.
The pandemic is making it harder to combat drug addiction. I'm Anita Vogel with a look at the new problems communities are facing as they help drug users get sober and stay alive. Coming up.
Well, of course, we've had the showers, we've had the thunderstorms throughout the afternoon, evening hours continuing for us now after a pretty good day. Most of the day we had partly sunny skies. It was warm all the way up into the mid to upper 70s for highs. We still have the showers, we still have the thunderstorms. We aren't seeing much in the way of severe weather here, but we are seeing some very heavy amounts of rain. Still, we have a severe thunderstorm watch. This is northeastern Oklahoma and also northwestern Arkansas. Everybody else is out of the watch, and I really think our severe weather from this point on is pretty minimal, besides maybe some flash flooding just due to heavy amounts of rain. But you can still see this big band of showers and thunderstorms. The heaviest now is on the Missouri side, stretching all the way down into northwestern parts of Arkansas. In our far western counties, we still are getting a few scattered showers, a few little tiny thunder showers, which are blowing up right along the front. Once that front rolls through, we're not going to have any more rain, but the heaviest is starting to exit the area. But where you do see the oranges, yellows, that is the moderate to heavy rain. So mainly on the Missouri and Arkansas side, starting to let up a little bit as we work into southeastern parts of Kansas. Let's go ahead and zoom in. You can still see the lightning bolts, so we are still getting a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning. Heaviest rain, Pittsburgh down 69, all the way to Miami, up 44 to Carthage, down to Neosho, and then up 49. Still moderate, even some heavy amounts of rain, but none of this is too strong or severe, so that is definitely good news, but we're still getting some pretty heavy amounts of rain all the way up near Nevada. And I really think if we see anything severe, it would be McDonald County or Berry County or Benton County. And most of the severe weather is going to stay between Fayetteville and Fort Smith. So that's the good news here, is we don't really have to worry about severe weather from this point on, but still some heavy amounts of rain. All right, let's fast forward about an hour and a half. Still the rain on the Missouri side, but you can see it pretty much gone in Kansas and also Oklahoma. Let's go to midnight. Most of the rain starting to exit the viewing area, and then we look pretty good until we get on the backside of the system later on tonight. We'll get some showers, maybe a random thunder shower, which will rotate in. None of this will be strong or anything, but then just kind of light showers into the morning hours. Here's 11 a.m. to noon. We're just going to have kind of cloudy skies most of the day with these on and off showers, especially in the morning hours. Looks okay. Indigo Sky, Casino and Resort, at least we aren't seeing anything too strong. Of course, the roads are very wet as this whole system wraps up. Look at the little spin. Southern parts of Nebraska, that is the system which is rotating through. And this whole storm system is going to head out of here. Now, the first half of the weekend, of course, not the nicest, but as we get behind this system, we get some pretty good weather by the time we head into the second half of the weekend. All right, these on and off showers through the morning hours, then rotating out during the afternoon. Let's look at your day planner for you. Mostly cloudy skies, temperature is cooler, but still not bad. High temp is 60. Tomorrow night, we clear out across the region, and then our temperatures will start to drop off just a bit. But Sunday, looking really good as we're going to rebound, and we should go into the 70s. 60 for us tomorrow, 74 Sunday, cooling back down next week. Rain chances back in next Thursday and Friday. No severe weather over the next 10 days.
As you were saying, sometimes that rain was coming down at a good
bucket.
pace. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Doug.
Yep.
Coming up in sports, a walk-off finish in the Bill O'Dell Baseball Tournament Championship today over in Carthage. Plus, Missouri Southern opening a series against the Newman Jets. Jacob Leonard is up next with highlights.
Well, today is championship day at the Bill O'Dell Baseball Tournament in Carthage. Now, the hometown Tigers have a chance to win it this afternoon, taking on Carl Junction. Now, CJ's 9-2 this season, ranked 5th in the state in Class 5. Picking up 4th inning, Kyler Perry hits this one deep, brings Dylan Eck home. CJ actually jumps out to a 4-1 lead. Later, though, here comes Carthage, down just 1 in the 7th. Silas Browning gets a base hit. Caden Krolichek comes home. Game tied at 4. Then, got to check out this ending. Bases loaded for Clay Kinder. It's one way to do it. Kinder takes it off the shoulder. That's a walk-off hit by pitch. Logan Carmichael walks in. Carthage takes the Bill O'Dell Tournament Championship 5-4 over Carl Junction.
No better feeling. I don't care how fast it hurt or how much it hurt. I don't care. No better feeling than walking off a baseball game with a hit by pitch. It was nice to be on this side of it. You know, we've been on CJ's side of it multiple times, but it's nice to pull one out late. It's fun. We had a lot of good teams this year, and so it's kind of a measuring stick for us of sorts.
In the third place game at the Bill O'Dell Tournament, it's Seneca taking on Nevada this afternoon. A low-scoring game here, but the Tigers take third, topping Seneca 3-1. The Missouri Southern Lions continue their 10-game homestand this weekend. The Lions were swept for the first time last weekend, dropping all 3 games to Central Missouri. Now Southern aims to get back on track today, kicking off a 3-game series against Newman. That's a 3-1 game in favor of the Lions in the 7th. Zach Parrish goes 3 up, 3 down. Parrish goes 7 innings with 10 strikeouts. Bottom of the 7th. Check out this play here. Troy Gagnon caught between first and second. Can't get him, so they're going to try to go home and get Jordan Fitzpatrick, but he slides in safely. Gagnon actually gets to third on the error. Lions steal 8 bases in the game. Still in the 7th, Dexter Swims back up the middle. Henry Kuziak and Clay Milas score. It's now 8-1 Missouri Southern, and that score will stand. The Lions take game 1 of their 3-game series 8-1. The Pittsburgh State softball team is an even 6-6 through the first 12 MIAA league games. The last time out, they took both games of a doubleheader from UNK on Saturday. Pitt State back home today for 2 more against Rogers State. That was a big first inning for the Hillcats. Michaela Bowman through the left side. That scores 2. Rogers State gets 4 in the top of the first. The same score in the third. Gorillas get a play on defense. Katie Kukowski with the grab. Doubles off the runner at first. It stays 4-0 until the 5th. Taylor Redding with the runner on. Big swing here. Puts it in the trees for the 2-run shot. Pushes the Hillcats lead to 6-0. Andrea Morales really good in the circle for Rogers State. Complete game shutout, 9 strikeouts. Gorillas drop game 1 to the Hillcats 9-0. Game 2, Pitt State tries to get the bats going and avoid the sweep. Kylie Boley drives in 2, but the Gorillas fall in a tight one, 4-3. Missouri Southern softball also on the field today for 2 against Northeastern State. In Game 1, Southern wins 4-3 on an Adriana Young walk-off single. Game 2, check this out. It's a tie. It was a 3-3 game before weather ended the game in the bottom of the 6th. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
The nation took on the new challenges brought on by COVID-19. The pandemic overshadowed a pre-existing crisis, the opioid epidemic. Fox News correspondent Anita Vogel reports.
I tried heroin and I got addicted to it.
Before the pandemic crippled the country, medical experts were battling another public health crisis, addiction. Officials say COVID-19 has not only impacted their ability to help curb the nation's struggle with substance abuse, it's made the problem even worse.
Regardless of COVID, people are still out there overdosing. Like, the world is still going. Either you get clean or you die.
The drug epidemic is evident in places like Huntington, West Virginia, a town ravaged by opioids. Here, a team of specialists was hired to track down overdose survivors and provide recovery resources. But fears of spreading COVID-19 have made it difficult for the team to help those who need it most.
Trying to connect with people that did, in fact, overdose and did show up in our data, just getting to them was kind of difficult. People didn't want to open their doors because of the pandemic.
Authorities say the pandemic is only masking addiction. From August of 2019 to August 2020, the CDC says overdose deaths increased by roughly 27%. In West Virginia alone, they went up almost 40%.
A lot of people started using drugs more because they're trapped in their house.
Health experts say an increase in drug use is also causing a rise in drug-related infections, including HIV and hepatitis C. Anita Vogel, Fox News.
Coming up, a look at honoring a jazz icon through a movie. This week, April 7th, marked Billie Holiday's birthday, and we caught up with Andra Day, who leads Hulu's The United States versus Billie Holiday. She shares what she hopes has been able to bring to the jazz icon's legacy. She has been able to do that, plus some takeaways so far as she continues this award season as an Oscar nominee for her performance and the types of projects she's seeking out next. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Singer-songwriter Andra Day made her lead acting debut in Hulu's The United States versus Billie Holiday. Now she's a Golden Globe winner and Academy Award nominee.
First of all, gratitude to God always, gratitude to Lee Daniels, to everybody who was a part of this process, that these nominations or these wins, this is not mine. It is, but it's not, in the sense that it took a gargantuan effort by so many people. The awards also, I have experienced nothing but an incredibly embracing community in the film and entertainment industry. And I know that it can be competitive and I know it can be these things, but I think there was something about the quiet moment of quarantine and coronavirus that has caused people to just appreciate each other a little bit more.
We spoke with Andra during Billie Holiday's birthday week, and she shared what she hopes the film can bring to the jazz icon's legacy.
She was truly, actually, the great godmother of the reinvigorated civil rights movement. Her singing Strange Fruit and the death of Emmett Till reinvigorated Thurgood Marshall and the movement, so her name should be in those conversations, and hopefully people realizing they didn't know her story makes them go, what other stories do I not know? I need to look into them more.
Day says she is encouraged to do a little bit more acting and wants to bring more representation and important stories to the screen.
I want to throw my hat in the ring so that we can be fully represented in this space, so that marginalized people, I can help create a platform for them to tell more of these stories. So I've started writing and developing a few things, so hopefully moving into that space with great filmmakers. I don't want to step into any shoes. I just want to get these stories told.
Strange fruit hanging. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Going to leave you with Mary the Alpaca. Going places thanks to a special new mobility cart. Good job, Mary. Hey, have a great, safe weekend. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.